Yeah, I'm a big fan of this Riesling and whatnot.
But you can coming up 89 out of that.
Yeah.
You got some nice coming up. Pay the lake.
Yeah, I just did a Figure Lake crawl in September.
Did you? Where's your home?
I grew up in Baton Rouge, but went to college up at
Went to
Cornell, and yeah. All right, so we're having a little. Are we live? All right. Little rosé from Walter S. Taylor, and Finger Lakes up my old alma mater, Cornell.
Beautiful part of the world.
Wow.
Boy, what fresh fruit on that.
It's really fresh.
There's some wines from Tennessee grown in the eastern part of the state that have a similar, almost like
It's almost like a
floral
right.
smell to it. Almost like a soap. It's like a bathroom soap. Or
You got a little of that,
air
kind of
freshener
that
type.
Concord where you get that like, grape jamminess to it, but a lot of kind of strawberry and. Well, the fun thing about box wines, you really kind of started with, your Franzias and your Almadens, but now you're starting to see some really cool stuff from Bonnie Doon. A lot of really fun stuff from the south of France. We're actually getting some high quality wines that really we just have on tap.
Oh, absolutely. I did a blind wine tasting with Whole Foods a couple months ago with some high-end California reserve Chardonnays and the white Chardonnay one. So, I can't remember what it was, but wow, maybe it was Unchained. I think is what the Chardonnay is. Basically, yeah, here it is, the naked Chardonnay.
Just a nice unoaked.
It was this one, and we were blind tasted this up against 3 other Chardonnays that were $30 to $70 a bottle, and that was hands down the winner. I have to admit I was totally shocked, and I have to admit it really did taste better than the other oaky, buttery, kind of flabby, old school Chards. It's neat to see the acidity, and people are, I think, embracing acidity.
Absolutely, and I mean, hats off to Randall Graham. I had breakfast with him several years ago. I was working in Dallas, and this was when he started doing the Big House Red and the really crazy mailings and blogs before people knew to call it a blog. And I asked him where he got all of his ideas and whatnot, and he looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Heavy drugs, late 60s." And I didn't know whether to laugh or not, but he's certainly a very, very creative guy. And
Off the charts.
Great juice at the price point.
Yeah. And you're right, we have a lot of really neat small producers that are trying to-
Corvina?
Yeah, the Corvina.
I haven't seen Italian box wines. I've seen France really kind of started the trend, but it's good to see it's starting to grow.
And people don't realize how great of a value they are. There's, in this particular case, these are 3 liters, so it's the equivalent of 4 bottles. So you're getting a great value. You're not having to throw away or recycle the glass in this case, and they stay fresh for many more days. How could you go wrong? The quality is actually, I think, better, and you don't have to deal with perhaps a cork bottle.
Right.
So, long time, it's nice to see people embracing the quality that's in there. And there's a lot of everyday box wines still being made, but it's kind of like saying, well, there's not any great wines made in California because they make just a ton, an ocean of mag wines or box wines. It's not true. There's certain things that come to cycles and the quality goes up. It changes the integrity of the item, the box wines in particular, certainly.
Well, it's amazing. If you look at old school Gallo Hardy Burgundy, and now Gallo, of course, with their estate wines, they've got some of the best land in California, and some really, really fine, smaller bottles. But if you get some of the old school gallons before they went into that, there was some great old vine, single vineyard stuff going into Hardy Burgundy.
No joke. I tell you, I used to work with Gallo. I used to sell that product and work for Gallo. There is nobody on earth that had a better quality wine than they did back in the 80s with that much Burgundy.
Not all. That's what my parents. That's what they had at home. That's what I started to have little sips of when I was a kid. they would always give me just a little bit, and it was always special. And then I remember for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, I always look forward to those holidays because we got Louis Jadot Beaujolais Village. And it was a big deal because it was from France and it had a cork. So that was high in the hog, and from as young as I remember, I always got a little glass, and just the European mentality. And then you become 21, and you're not such a jackass because you've been exposed to it.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's interesting also, I went to a great tasting, it was top sommeliers in Chicago with the gentleman who started Yellowtail, and blew us away with some of the higher end products that they've done, and talking about all these small grape growers that they've supported with that project. And it's easy when someone's successful to say, oh, that's just making a bunch of this stuff. But it's independent farmers, and it's quality, and at the price point it is what it is. But if you look at in Europe, you're drinking wine every day. It's part of food. It's part of your lifestyle. They're not going and drinking classified Bordeaux every day. They're having a Van de Cabo, and I think it's great that you have a store with these amazing things, but also someone come in and they can pick up a box of rosé that tastes like adult Kool-Aid, which nothing wrong with that, and not feel bad about it.
You see over here our photo box displays and things like that. This little man is doing a great job of putting this together for us, and this is sort of like the tide comes in, we fill it up that afternoon, and the tide goes back out, and we fill it back up,
Right.
So
Right. Well, it gets people to drink wine. I remember back to wine coolers. Then it became White Zinfandel. Then White Zinfandel, then they started drinking Merlot. And Merlot, they started drinking Pinot. And then they're drinking Syrah and Shiraz. And now all of a sudden Malbecs. And now they're finding the Cahors from the south of France. It's the same grape. So it's progressive. But
it's all about maturity. My son is 23 years old, and his favorite wine that we've had together is Cornas. So it's sort of like,
23,
blown
drinking
away by
Cornas.
how great that was. And that's
Good for him.
it's one thing I guess
He loves his wine.
He does. And he's going to have to pay for it and buy it for me very soon after he gets out of college.
Absolutely. Wow, this is really, really cool.
Well, Adam spent the whole morning here with us, and appreciate you coming in. And usually everything's pretty organized when you walk through. We do our stocking in the morning, as you can tell we've got a lot of work to do. But thanks for coming in and hanging out with us.
That's great. It's
incredibly
great.
great time.
You're selling lots of stuff.
Cheers.
To your success.